What is up, guys? Super excited to be bringing you this video. That means that we were just accepted to be a distributor for Prestige Labs. It's something I've been working on for a long time. I really wanted to bring some high quality supplements to Body by Design, but I was pretty picky about it. We're known for having the best of the best, and I didn't want like our supplements or anything like that to be any exception. So I started digging around about 10 months ago, looking through different companies and more so just having the mindset of not compromising, just being uncompromised, and how can I get the best products? And I came across Prestige Labs. They are known for supplying supplements for like Olympians, athletes, the cleanest, most pure, and most effective supplements that are on the market. But little did I know you can't just buy them and sell them. You actually have to be an approved distributor. You have to go through different classes and certifications, which now I've gone through, and we have all of that stuff. And we were finally, after 9 months, accepted to be distributors. So let me tell you a little bit about Prestige Labs, and then how it was formed and who's running this, and essentially some of the products that we're going to be recommending for you guys, and how they can just maximize your results, whether you're doing a 6-week challenge or you are doing just some regular goal setting, how supplementation could really help you get there much more effectively and quickly. So first thing, Prestige Labs was founded and by Alex Hormozi, who is a man. He's a genius in the fitness industry, and he has been through a lot of transformations himself. And he's been featured on Muscle and Strength magazines and things like that. He really knows his stuff, especially when it comes to formulating supplements and what the consumer wants as far as taste, mixability, delivery systems, all the things that are really, really important that make you want to take supplements, effectiveness. That's what he had in mind. So he enlisted Dr. Trevor Kashey, who is a biomechanic. He's got his PhD in biomechanics, and he works with a lot of different Olympic teams and their supplement programs and how to make the best athletes with the cleanest supplements and most pure things. So these two together are really a dream team for if you were to start and run a supplement company and not have anything compromised, and just make the absolute best products. These are probably the two people that you'd like to get together to do this, and that's exactly kind of what happened. So Alex, he had a goal in mind of essentially coming up with a line of products that will help you from before workout, during workout, after workout, sleep, recovery, and formulating each individual product to be the best in the industry. Not just a line in general, but each individual product. And we'll kind of talk about what I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend all of their products to you guys, but there's certain ones that I really, really like, and those would be the ones that I would recommend to you. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of this video. So Alex went through a 6-week transformation. He gained 35 pounds in that 6 weeks completely naturally, which is really, really hard to do, but it shows that he knows exactly what measures to take to get a predictable outcome. And that's kind of exactly what he did to be able to do that. And I'm sure that supplements were a good part of his regimen as well. This is Dr. Trevor Kashey. He holds a lot of records and all sorts of cool stuff. There's a video clip I'll show you guys next of these two talking together. But he's a really, really smart dude, and he knows a lot about nutrition and supplements and just all of that stuff. So this is one of the only supplement lines that I know of after doing my research that was that all the products were created by a physician, a PhD. I don't know of any other supplement lines, and I did extensive research, but I don't know of any that were actually created by a doctor, not just approved, but designed by them. So I think it's really cool. He's been in Men's Health magazine, and he was a nutritionist that helped a lot of people do a lot of cool stuff. So I think it's really interesting that these guys came together to form a supplement brand that kind of takes the industry back and stops feeding garbage and really delivers high quality products. So like I said, guys, I'm super excited to be bringing you this to Body by Design. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I didn't feel right about just giving you guys any kind of supplements that, would make you jittery or whatever it may be. I wanted to find the best of the best stuff. I had to wait. I didn't want to say anything earlier because I didn't even know if we were going to get approved and get you guys all pumped pumped up about these new supplements, and then, hey, we didn't get approved because we didn't do these tests or whatever it may be, it's a done deal. So we are able to, we have these things. We have these supplements, a bunch of different flavors. So what I'm going to do now is take you guys through a little bit more of Alex and Trevor talking together, and then we'll go right into the supplement line and show you which ones I would recommend for you and which ones are, they're awesome. They're great supplements, but I wouldn't recommend them for you guys, at least from Prestige Labs, because you can probably get them elsewhere that would be just as effective. So let's check it out. Let's get into it.
Here we go. But it was Love It First Macro. And man, Dr. Kashey is the smartest person that that I've ever encountered in the world when it comes to nutrition and biochemistry. And so some things that you may not know about Trevor. He was the youngest person in the United States to get a PhD in biochemistry at age 21. Yeah. He was recruited by another country to run all of the supplement cycles for their Olympic lifting, wrestling, and all strength sports in that country when he was 16. He's also he set a world record for the overhead log press as well. U.S. record. Sorry, U.S. record. All right, see, he's humble about it. And Trevor has also consulted with every single World's Strongest Man that you've probably seen on TV. They go to him to find out what they should be doing for supplements and food. Staying alive, yeah. But Trevor is truly one of the most knowledgeable people in the world, period. And I'm really happy to have him talk today. Last time we did a presentation, this one's going to be much shorter and then way more just Q&A because I think that was when Trevor just starts talking about food, you start realizing that you don't know anything about anything. And so it's our great honor to have had Dr. Trevor, Dr. Kashey, it's weird because Trevor is what I call him. But anyways, Dr. Kashey with us and as a friend personally, which he has now become. And he's just he's always the smartest person in the room. And he really is. And I think that you guys will be really, 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 really privileged to hear what he has to say, and will give you a ton of conviction in terms of what we are doing from a nutrition standpoint and from a supplemental standpoint in the future. So anyways, Dr. Kashey, take it away. Oh, I'm hanging out.
All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So now what I'd like to do is just go into the products that I think are the best products that Prestige Labs makes. Every single product they make is, in my opinion, the best on the market, okay? But some products you can, like as an example, like fish oil, like they call it EFA, essential fatty acids. You can go to like Costco or something like that and get fish oil that will be not as good as Prestige Labs, but it will still be effective enough for your purposes. So if we are going to be like budget friendly and conscious of that, there's like 4 to 5 products that I would just highly recommend from Prestige Labs. So we're going to go into those now, and Dr. Kashey will kind of talk a little bit about how he made these products and then how to properly dose them and what's most effective based on what your goals are. So let's dive into it.
Everyone, welcome to the intra-workout video, where we'll be talking about the science behind how this thing was formulated. So the intra product, we call intra originally, so everyone knows what we're talking about. Yeah. And this, I mean, when we're talking about, like, would you make a sandwich that you would actually, intra-workout, pre-workout, things like that, like, those are things that we take every single day. And so making something that was really superior there was, not that it was any way less high priority than the other products, but like, these ones are powdered and consumable, and there's a lot of other nuances that go into it besides just putting it into a capsule and taking it. So this was, we put tons of effort into making sure that these mixed well, they dissolve well, they smell good. Like they keep, they don't, if you leave them in the bottle, they don't smell. Like there's lots of other aspects. But beyond that, this was really cool because in the formulation process, I was able to find out why a lot of companies don't actually use the ingredients that elicit the results that people actually want. And if you're anything like me, I want everything that's going to maximize my results in the gym. And so there's 3 kind of components to this product. We were looking for a way to turn on muscle machinery so that the actual hypertrophy process of building more muscle would start. The second was to supply the nutrients so that that process could actually come to completion. So you turn on the machinery, and then the second is you provide the actual building blocks to build the muscle. And the third is the role of glycerol, which Dr. Kashey will get into in terms of cellular volumization and also getting more out of the workout by having very expanded cells is the easiest way to say it. So I will let Dr. Kashey break down how we turned on muscle machinery, the nutrients that are being shuttled there that no one else is really using, and then the role that glycerol plays in addition to the sodium. And all right, that's that.
Hello. So like the Teststorm product, this is a product where like I was actually taking it on my own, but it was a big pain in the ass because I mixed a bunch of individual ingredients together myself, and that's just what I took. Yeah. So this is a great opportunity for me to kind of bring one of my own personal rituals to life because, again, the directions were don't make it if you wouldn't consume it. And so that's exactly what I did. And one of the reasons why, this product is extremely straightforward because that's what it needs to be, is straightforward. And especially when it comes to the amino acids in the blend that we use, you will find in other products that these ingredients aren't used because they taste bad and flavor cells. And again, that's not a priority of mine, so I just leaned on him to figure that out. But the reality is that the branch chains are very popular, and they also don't taste like anything. So you can advertise certain effects, but again, it's like you flip on a light switch and there's no electricity. You have a truck, but there's no bricks in the truck.
Yeah, just so that I can drive what Dr. Kashey is saying home, the most marketed products for I'm already saying it, for intra workouts are going to be BCAA, so branched chain amino acids, which are a subset of essential amino acids, which is leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Those are the three that everyone talks about, the 2-to-1-to-1 ratio, whatever. The thing is that they do start the process, but they do not complete the process. So it's just like turning all the lights on, but having no electricity, right? And so this is the first product that we're aware of that has the rest of the amino acid spectrum in the amounts and blend ratios to complete the entire mechanism.
Your body does other things when it trains.
Right.
And this just gives you the opportunity to be in a metabolic environment so your body can be firing on all cylinders is probably the best way to put it. And so that's just as straightforward as possible is the way I can explain it.
Yeah.
The glycerol is an amazing product, also very straightforward. It gets into your bloodstream and it raises it raises the osmotic constant and forces your body to retain more fluid inside of your veins. And because of that, your body temperature is more regulated. You have higher power output when you train. Your pumps are way better.
Yeah.
And the more water there is, the more water you can supply, the more nutrients you can supply, because guess what all the nutrients are dissolved in? They're dissolved in water. So you get hyperhydrated, you get the ingredients you need to turn on all of the regulated processes that help you build muscle, and then also supply the building blocks for that muscle at the same time. And this is it's not just expensive water.
Right, which is what most of the time you're getting, which is just colored water with some non-essential amino acids that don't really actually do anything, but are just thrown in so they can be on the label.
Yeah.
Yeah. We feel really strong about the product. It's really simple, and in this instance,
it's what you need.
It's what you need, and simple was something that most people didn't want to do because of the flavor aspect and the dissolvability aspect. Essential amino acids do not dissolve well. They also don't taste good, so you're like, wow, Alex, you're really, really pushing this one. We worked really hard to get it to dissolve in Luke cold water. Which actually is even harder than in room temperature water. But we worked really hard to be able to do that. So if you just mix this up in room temperature or a little bit cold water, it should fully dissolve, which is a Herculean feat on our part.
Yeah.
The glycerol was also put in to help suspend the ingredients so you don't have floaties and whatnot in the product. But so that you could actually dissolve them and transport them to your muscles. So really excited about it, and it will do exactly what you always thought your other intra workouts were doing, but weren't actually.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk about some frequently asked questions about intra workout. Question number 1, how much should I take? Just take 1 serving. That's all you need. That's how it was formulated. Pretty straightforward. Number 2, when? Daily versus weekly, etc. Just take this on days you train. That's all you need. You do not need to make expensive water out of this stuff. Just take it on days you train. How should you take it? You should take it with as much fluid as you need to make the flavor match whatever your palate desires. That's probably the most straightforward way in terms of how much fluid, okay? And then just start sipping really essentially when you finish your pre-workout drink. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. So this is what you want to consume, like instead of Gatorade while you're training. Consume this, okay? Do you have to cycle this product? Absolutely not. You can take this every time you train. No problem. Number 5, what happens if you skip? Can you double up the dose? Absolutely. It won't hurt you. Is it necessary? No. So just hop back on the wagon the next time you train.
Everyone, this video is talking about the product's called Pre. And we called it Pre because it was simple and everyone could understand it, and it's intended to be taken pre-workout. So why was this made? We put so much time and energy into the thought process of how this product was formulated. I hope you'll appreciate like what really went into it. A lot of the products that are on the market are, for the most part, just caffeine and
bombs.
Yeah, just bombs, and just nothing to maximize margin. And again, I said I want you to like make a product that we would both take. And so there's cool stuff that we did with the power output and focused energy. And the third piece when we talk about stimulant is something that I'm especially proud of, and I think that will make that makes this product truly one of a kind, and just much more functional and usable for anyone on a day-to-day basis. So like I said, the reason that we did this was to create the best pre-workout product available on the market, to maximize power output so that you can have better workouts, focused energy so that when you're there, you're not jittery, but you just feel focused. Our manufacturer, I have a recording of him taking this for the first time, and it's truly comical. You can probably see it somewhere below here. Yeah. It's awesome. And one of the coolest parts of it, he was like, I just want to do things. And it almost feels like a smart drug, really. But the last piece with the variable stimulation, this is something that's been near and dear to my heart because I've never been able to find a product that I really, really could get behind, because some days I don't want a ton of stimulants. Some days I work out in the afternoons and I can't drink a pre-workout because it'll keep me up. Some days I feel like hungover in the morning because of all the work I did the day before, whatever, and I want something that's going to kick me in the ass 10 times. And so if you have one product, it's really difficult to do that because it's a fixed amount. And so for that reason, we actually made the product stimulant free, but then with the additional sidekick of as much stimulant as you want. And so that allows you to take it in the AM or the PM. It allows people who have different sensitivity levels. I'm very sensitive to stimulants, so for me, a little bit goes a long way. Whereas some people can drink 10 cups of coffee and then fall asleep. They are people who need rocket fuel to get them going, and this thing can become rocket fuel if you want it to, which is really, really cool. And so that way you can, and then thirdly, you can change it because of circumstances. Some days you're more tired, some days you're less tired, and then you can adjust it accordingly so that you can always get the maximum output from the product and ultimately your workouts. So, Dr. Cash, if you can explain what's in it and how it works.
I will do my damnedest. So there's a couple of things that, again, when Alex came to me to help formulate these products, the stipulation is, would you take it? And a pre-workout product, to be completely honest, was something I never ever took. And that is because some products had benefits on the performance side, some products had benefits on the blood flow side, but the reality is that most all of these products were just caffeine bombs. And I couldn't regulate when I wanted to take the product and the effects that I wanted to get, because no matter what, my eyes would just turn red and I would lose my mind. So I did focus on, one, can we increase performance? Can we decrease fatigue? Can we increase power output? Can we increase blood flow? Can you get more oxygen? And those things alone, they do increase your performance and increase your workout quality, which do indirectly and directly give you bigger benefits and gains in the long term. So the L-citrulline, the beta-alanine, the creatine, those things are anti-fatigue. They do increase power output. You will be able to get more reps in than you have before. And there's a little secret weapon in there, creatine nitrate, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It is nitrous. When nitrates get into your bloodstream, they do dilate your blood vessels. They do decrease your oxygen need. They do increase your performance. And there is so much stuff to back that up. And this is something that so many products so obviously lack. And the second blend is a Prestige Labs Focused Energy Blend. And this is really focusing your energy rather than turning you into a rocket ship if you don't want to. So the Alpha GPC, it's all up here, man. That literally is focus. What energy you do have is not wasted. And since most people have a ton of energy that does get wasted, this allows you to take what you do have and put it into the task at hand so that the work you put in is higher quality. The alpha amylase is probably the coolest, one of the cooler ingredients in this product for me, because where do you actually get energy from? Calories. Calories are literally energy. That's what that is. And so alpha amylase is an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrate. And chances are you had a little something before you decided to train. And what this does is help you digest and absorb that food faster. So you actually get more energy from this product because you are getting more energy from the food you consume before you train.
Which is just brilliant because I didn't want the product itself to have sugars in it and things like that so that people who are controlling their macro intake, etc., would then be adding to it with a pre-workout product. But most people have glucose and sugar that's in their bloodstream already or that's in their digestive tract, etc.
Yeah.
And then the alpha amylase allows you to best utilize the things that you've already eaten to create the outcome of the workout that you want.
Yes. And if you don't eat, it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
And if you do eat, it helps. Right. So it's pretty friggin' awesome. The N-acetyltyrosine is a pro-stimulant. So if you are lacking in endogenous stimulants, this will convert. So it will convert as needed, which is a great option. And the synephrine, also excellent focusing agent. Not a jittering, methed out, not functional human thing. And then lastly, and not least, there's a B vitamin complex, again, to help you use the food you consume to give you the energy you need when you train. And I'm going to let Alex go over the variable stimulation component of this, which is quite cool.
So we went back and forth on that, a long time about how we were going to address stimulants, specifically caffeine. Caffeine is obviously effective. That's why it's a gajillion-dollar industry. Like, it works. Everyone knows it works. But the issue is that I didn't want people to become desensitized to it. I wanted people to be able to take it. I mean, this is really just for myself too. Like, I wanted to be able to take it when I wanted to take it. I wanted to take more of it or less of it when I wanted to take more or less of it. So this product, you could take it before you go to bed and be fine. So if you work out at 7 o'clock at night, you can fall asleep 2 hours later and not have any issues, which was really important to me. But there are some days, if you want to ride a rocket ship and if you want to ride the bull or run with the bulls, then we have the little sidekick caffeine product that is sold with this, with the intention of allowing you to self-regulate, which I think is super, super cool. So, and for people who don't want it, you don't need to take it. That's not where the cost of the product isn't there. Caffeine, you can buy caffeine pills, whatever.
It's almost free.
Yeah, it's almost free. The point is that by pulling it out, we don't want to try and deceive you and put 500 milligrams of caffeine in this product and everyone will be like, oh my God, it's crazy. That's not hard to do. And as Trevor told me when he was creating the first versions of this, he's like, I feel like caffeine is just lazy formulation. It's something that everyone can feel immediately, and then they're like, oh, this is great, and then they hop from product to product to product, and they just continue to up they take products that have more and more and more caffeine, chasing the first high. Whereas with this one, we purposely made it so that it would be only taken on the days that you're working out, so that you don't purposely increase your or desensitize yourself to it, and then when you do want to go
Super
Saiyan, yeah, I didn't have an appropriate term there. With 450 milligrams of caffeine, which is what we portioned out as the maximum dose for this, it's plenty. You'll get all of the benefits that you could get from your nervous system output, being awake, etc. But one of the notes to make is that there's level 1, 2, and 3, which would be 1 scoop, 2 scoop, or 3 scoop of the caffeine into this. We've made it so that the formulation of the caffeine that's been put in there has been matched to the actual product. So if you were to actually just put normal caffeine in it, it would taste really bad. So this actually has bitter blockers and emulsifiers, things that break it up so that it actually dissolves into the product. So they're meant to be taken together. But you can have level 1, level 2, or level 3. Level 1 is just like a normal amount of caffeine. It's 150 milligrams, like a cup of coffee. Yeah. If you have 2, then you're at 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is a very large amount for most people. Yeah. And then if you want to go Super Saiyan, you can take level 3, which do that at your own risk, and have 450 milligrams of caffeine and feel like you can move a building.
Have at it.
But the downside is that the less caffeine you take, the less of a crash you will have. And then the more you have, the more you will have a huge spike. And then later you'll feel downsides. So I don't want to lie to you about that. That's just what it is. So that's a trade-off that you'll have to make. And some people, like I said, can take it in the afternoon and then time their crash so that it's with bedtime. So you can use this and you can learn your own body and how you react to these things independent from all of the other ingredients that are meant to increase power output, increase focus energy, increase blood flow, increase performance, decrease fatigue in the product.
As an aside for the science-related stuff regarding the stimulation effects of caffeine, one of the main ways caffeine works is that it blocks a molecule called adenosine. And adenosine, when it gets to a high enough level, that's what helps tell your brain that you're sleepy. And so this doesn't prevent your body from making adenosine, it just prevents it from working temporarily. So when you take caffeine, you block adenosine from working, but it still builds. So when the caffeine wears off, you have built up this adenosine, and then it all rushes and binds at once, and that's where the crash comes from. So when I take caffeine personally, I take it because of the crash. So I can take it, I know how my body operates on caffeine, so I can time it. So at this time, I'm going to crash, and I'm going to crash on purpose. And I go to sleep, and everything functions perfectly fine. I hope that makes sense.
Use wisely. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm here to answer some frequently asked questions about pre-workout. So, 1, how much should I take? This is actually quite an interesting question and is a little more complicated answer than most of the other products. And it is formulated for the product itself in the original packaging to take 1 serving before you train. So you can take it between 15 and 30 minutes before training, and that would be basically when you get in the car, start sipping. And when it comes to modifying the stimulant aspect, you can take 1 serving. You get a decision tree with 3 options. 1 serving of caf is going to get you to basically the equivalent of a big cup of coffee. 2, okay, not as fun as number 3. It is basically 2 cups of coffee. But the third option here is full-on Super Saiyan status at nearly 500 milligrams of caffeine. Definitely use that wisely. Do not take more than that because then you would be a silly goose. Okay? Next, when should I take this? Daily versus weekly? Again, excellent question. This product was formulated to last a month because most people are not going to be able to handle more than 3 intense workouts per week. So you do take this 3 times weekly and you take it 15 to 30 minutes pre-workout. So if you drive to the gym, that is the perfect time to do it. If you don't drive to the gym, start sipping it when you warm up. How should I take this? Should I take it with food? Honestly, probably not. You're going to be eating a meal probably about 90 minutes before training, and you'll still be digesting that meal by the time training comes around. So we're assuming food is in your system already. And the amylase, or the carbohydrate enzyme in this product, will help further digest the carbohydrates that you do consume in your meal pre-workout. So there's no need to take it with food. And yes, take it with liquid. If you try and consume the powder on its own, it's tough. And it gets caught between your teeth, and it's pretty gritty. Not recommended. Number 4, cycling, stopping, or starting. So the beauty of this product is that it's formulated to be taken 3 times a week, and that even when you're consuming stimulants at that rate, your chances of building tolerance are quite low. So if you take it as directed, you should be able to take it continuously as per the instructions of 3 times a week for an indefinite period. No problem. Lastly, what happens if you skip? That's not a big deal. This is not a cumulative effect in the context of training, so there's absolutely no need to take twice the amount the next time you train. Probably not the most terrible, or not the best idea to double up on a tripled caffeine dosage either. So, not suggested there. No problem if you skip, just hop back on next time.
What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the Burn AM product. It is a fat burning product with, it's an awesome product. We're really excited about this one. The reason that this was made is because most fat burners are really just total BS and literally just pure marketing. And I know from the manufacturing side how little actually goes into them. And most of the time they're just, again, just a big caffeine product that they just, people just take pills and just get really jittery and things like that. And again, the bar was, what would you actually take? What would be something that I would actually take? And we're not going to waste our time or our money on something that isn't going to be like that. And so, I think we made the best fat burner on the entire market. It's phenomenal. It's really exciting. And again, it's stimulant free. And the reason for that was because we wanted none of the products we have to have stimulants, so that if you want to take stimulants, you can take them on your own as you measure them to your sensitivity. Whereas if you had caffeine in every product, then by the end of the day, you've taken a gram of caffeine and you won't sleep for a week. So, and then you crash and then anyways. So there's three main basic big components here. There's a huge component that is all the ingredients are pushed towards thermogenesis, which is increasing your own body's temperature, which is truly increasing your metabolism. The second is increasing fat utilization. So once you are burning more, you want to take that fat that's being released and then actually burn it up and use it, right? So that it's no longer there anymore. And then the third is that we did this all without being a stimulant cake, for lack of a better term. So, Dr. Gashi, you want to break it down how we did it from the science?
Yes. Okay, so there is a large component of this product is thermogenesis, and that word is thrown around a lot. And I'm taking this word at face value. So if you break down the word thermogenesis, there is thermo and there is genesis. So thermo meaning heat and genesis meaning to create, and we're going to create some heat. The ingredients in the thermogenesis proprietary blend do all work together through varying pathways, like a seven-headed monster, to achieve, effectively increased body temperature. So if you think of it this way, you don't want your body to be efficient.
Yeah.
Efficiency when it comes to fat loss is not a good thing. You want to be 2 miles to the gallon. You want to be a Ferrari. You don't want to be a Prius. You want to be 70 miles to the gallon. You want to be 2 miles to the gallon. You want to be as wasteful as humanly possible with the energy you have.
You want to break a sweat when you just walk to get up a glass of water. Like that's what you want.
Yeah. So the ingredients in the thermogenesis proprietary blend are used specifically to work together. The epicatechins from green tea, the highly specifically concentrated garlic powder. You ever bitten into a piece of garlic? If you did that, you would know. I don't recommend it. That's why I put it in a pill. Cayenne powder, white willow bark, evodimine, forskolin. All of these ingredients have been shown to increase perception of heat, actual body temperature, and metabolic rate, all through varying pathways to attack this in as many metabolic routes as I could manage with the ingredients that were out there that were legal. So that was actually a limiting factor for me, unfortunately, but this is all we got, and it is the best on the market, bar none. And so going 2 miles to the gallon, you're releasing a lot of this fat. Fat does go into your bloodstream, and that a lot of that does get released because of hormones like adrenaline and other enzymes that help you break down fat and mobilize it. So the other blend is called the hyperfat utilization blend. So even though you're releasing this fat into your bloodstream, you have to move it to mitochondria and other organelles so that when it is metabolized, you use that and get calories from it. So carnitine does help mobilize that fat. Cyanidin-3 glucoside does help level out your blood glucose so that you do continue to burn fat throughout the day. And again, that's more of keeping your behavior and keeping your food in check. And then lastly, the Sinatrol is a really cool combination of herbal ingredients that make it so the natural stimulants you produce, the adrenalins, the epinephrines, the norepinephrines, when you produce those naturally, it keeps them circulating for longer. So it doesn't force a stimulant down your throat. You don't become like crazy jacked out of your mind from a bunch of caffeine. Just keeps your natural stimulants that you do make on your own, keeps them working for longer periods. I think that about does it, man.
Yeah. I mean, what this does is it's going to help you release more fat and then burn more of it for a longer period of time with the natural chemicals that you have in your body. Yeah. And it just works. And all you have to do is take it and you'll feel it. which is actually pretty cool. You can feel your body temperature go up. And if you don't feel your body temperature go up with a product, then it's not
thermogenic.
It's not thermogenic. And that's kind of the point. A lot of people say it, but they don't actually have anything that's thermogenic in it.
That's what that means.
Yeah. This actually does. And it does it through every pathway that we know that we can access legally, which is pretty awesome. So enjoy, and I think you'll feel this one.
Hey guys, I'm gonna talk about some frequently asked questions for the awesome product Burn AM. First question, how much should I take? There is only a need to take 1 serving every day. That is it, no problem. Number 2, when should you take it? And daily versus weekly and other undulating dosages. You should take it in the morning, as per the suggestion in the name. So, first thing, when you wake up, take it with a bunch of water. Okay? Again, that leads into the next question, how? With food, with water? So this is where it does take a little bit of experimentation on your end. So I would start out taking it with quite a bit of water when you wake up, and then see what happens if you take it fasted. So see if you have any GI upset or not, and if it does give you a little rumbly in the tumbly, then just go ahead and take it with your first meal. So that's easy as that, no problem. Question number 4, should you stop it? How do you start it, and do you have to cycle it? You can take this product every day, indefinitely, no problems. There's no caffeine in this product, so you don't have to worry about building a tolerance to anything at all. You can take this indefinitely. Question number 5, what happens if you skip? Do not double dose for this product. If you want to make your life more complicated, you can split the next dose over a 3-day period, because there is 3 capsules in a serving, and you can take 4 capsules for the next 3 days to make up that difference if you want to make your life complicated. But just hop back on the wagon and take a normal serving the next day. It's fine.
What's going on, everyone? Today, right now, we're going to be talking about Burn PM, which is the second half of the fat burning equation that Dr. Cash and I put together for you guys. It's meant to be used in synergy with the AM product and completely differs in terms of what pathways and what the objectives are for the product itself. So if we wanted to just have the same thing again, we would just say take Burn AM twice, but that wasn't the objective. The objective was to create a product, like you said, what's the outcome, right? The goal here was to make sure that people would continue to do the things that create the environment for fat loss. And so to create an optimal environment for fat loss, you want someone who is very low stress, right? So whose stress threshold is higher, who feels full, and who does not have cravings. And so this was meant, the reason that there's a donut on the cover of the product is because I wanted people to at least make the mental connection that when they take this, it's almost like eating a donut, in that it can help you. Like, what do you do when you're stressed? You eat, right? And what do you eat typically? Usually foods that are high in fats and sugars. And it does, in a very real way, decrease the amount of stress that you have. Like, eating is something that helps you cope, which is why people do it. Yeah. And so we wanted to have something that would mimic that exact same effect without actually ingesting a donut. And so I said that is the objective for the product, which is why it's taken in the evening when most people take out their stress on their plate. Yeah. Figuratively and literally. That was the objective that I gave to Dr. Cashy to formulate, and he made something that was really amazing. So I'll let him break down the science.
Yes. So this product was attacked, and this product is attacking 3 different pathways, like Alex was describing, regarding essentially being able to stay adherent to a plan. You're putting all this time, energy, and effort into burning fat during the day, and a lot of times all that effort is kind of destroyed at night. And that's not because of some body's magic ability to store fat at night. People just have a magic ability to eat more at night. It's something that I found. So the 3 pathways, I'm going to go over them. And one is essentially behavior. And the behavior is associated, feelings. And when you feel stuff, you act on those feelings. And so a lot of people get the feelings of cravings, like they feel the need to eat. And this does not suppress your appetite as much as you just don't feel like you need to consume the things that you feel like you need to consume to feel a certain way. So the 5-HTP, the chromium picolinate, those things help specifically with like carbohydrate and sugar cravings, which a lot of people end up having at night. And the betaine and the trimethylglycine are implicated in the long term for being able to help regulate behaviors associated with being stressed out in the long term. So this is a great long-term product for that reason too, because it does help help regulate behavior in the long term. Now, the other issue is stress. You cannot just decrease stress. You might be able to mask it or decrease the perception of how much stress you feel. And this isn't supposed to solve your life's problems, although that would be quite amazing. The rhodiola, the ginseng, the ashwagandha, these increase your capacity to deal with the stress you currently deal with. And so a lot of people use food to accomplish that same purpose, but what these adaptogens allow you to do is quite literally adapt to your psychological environment. Hey guys, I'm about to talk about a really cool product, Burn PM. A little more complicated in terms of dosing schemes here, but that's cool. I got your back the whole way. So this first question is pretty straightforward. How much should you take? Just take a serving. That is all you need to take. So these questions are where things get a little more complicated. When do you take it? You do take it every day. That is without question, okay? Now, the time of day really matters specifically to you, and I'm going to help engineer your behavior to make sure you take it at the same time every day. So most times, people's cravings hit an hour, maybe 90 minutes after dinner, where you've eaten, and now you're kind of vegging, watching Netflix, or whatever, and so you wander to the freezer, you wander to the fridge, you wander to the pantry, and you open that door, and you see whatever goodie you normally see and start to munch on. And what I'm going to ask you to do is take that goodie, throw it in the garbage, and replace it with a bottle of Burn PM. So that when you go to open the freezer or the fridge or the pantry door, the nice donut on this label is staring you right in the face. And that's when you take your serving. And then you will habituate yourself to getting up and opening the pantry or the freezer, seeing this bottle, and then taking your serving of Burn PM to make sure that you stay satisfied and burning fat day and night, okay? So how should you take this? With food or liquid? No, don't take this with food. This actually makes the food you do consume go longer. So there's no need to eat it with food at all. You can consume this with a nice big glass of whatever the heck you want, preferably without calories, but again, that is your choice. So lastly, do you have to stop taking this at all? No, you do not. One of the biggest benefits of this product is the adaptogen component, which increases your ability to withstand stress. So this allows you to maintain your behavior even through stressful times in your life. And there's no reason you should ever stop having that feeling. Lastly, what happens if you skip? No biggie. You can take 2 doses of this at a time if you want for increased effects, but there's totally unnecessary in most cases. So if you skip one day and the next you're pretty gnarly, you can actually double doses if you'd like, but you probably won't need to.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome. This video is about the sleep multiplier. And so what I wanted to briefly cover is just why it was made and what it's supposed to do, and then Dr. Cash will explain what it actually does, like, and how, right? So the reason that we decided to make this product was because there was a huge gap, at least as I perceived it in the marketplace, for products that help people get to sleep without it being a tranquilizer, essentially, which actually decreases your sleep quality, helps you fall asleep, but then you're not actually getting good rest. And the rest of the products out there were, for lack of a better term, foo-foo. And so we wanted to make a product that did 3 things. One is that it helps you fall asleep faster. The second was that it increased the sleep density or the quality of the sleep. That's why it's called sleep multiplier. So per unit of time, you actually get more rest and recovery from having these substances in your system. And then the third is, while you are asleep and you're getting better sleep, to create an environment, metabolically speaking and with hormones, that's conducive to the goals that we have, which is increased metabolism, increased lean body mass retention, and increased basically fat burning, for lack of a better term. And so Dr. Cash will explain how the ingredients were put together and in what doses and why they were put into the blends that we have outlined, so that you know so you can remember, even if you're not watching this video, just by looking at the label, what each of the ingredients is supposed to be doing and what the effect it's supposed to be eliciting is.
Fantastic. All right, so going based off the description Alex just gave, this product is three separate things that we wanted to accomplish. One, I'm just going to go over these in order, is using the Prestige Labs Knockout Fast proprietary blend. And the whole purpose of this blend was to counteract a lot of the stimulants and anxiety-inducing supplements that people end up taking during dieting phases or just general life stressors. The L-theanine, the magnesium citrate, the valerian, and the melatonin, all of these things help lower blood pressure, decrease the effects of stimulants, tell your brain it's freaking nighttime, and then help ease you into sleep. So it doesn't really sedate you. It promotes the environment to allow you to actually go to sleep when you lay down. Secondly, the Prestige Labs Sleep Multiplier Blend is specifically there to increase your sleep density. So this is a combination of synergistic herbs that have anti-inflammatory effects that help you sleep in more comfortable positions. Again, decreasing anxiety so that you can have more quality sleep and decrease the risk of you waking up while you're sleeping, because sleep fragmentation is a huge issue. And lastly, the Prestige Labs Metabolic Support Blend. This is freaking awesome. So there are essential nutrients for thyroid hormone support to make sure that your metabolic rate does not decline and you can maximize your fat loss environment while you are sleeping. There's the chlorogenic acid, which does help even out your blood glucose levels, which does help sleep quality because fluctuations in glucose can and do happen, and then sometimes people wake up starving and nobody wants that. And lastly, the heaviest hitter in this monster is the phosphatidylserine, which I am proud to say could very well be a product in its own right. And that is also part of why this is a sleep multiplier product, because this is multiple products in one. And the phosphatidylserine is awesome because it decreases levels of the stress hormone cortisol and increases the anabolic and recovery hormones, growth hormone and IGF-1. And all of these things combined knock you out fast, keep you sleeping, and allow your body to do what it's supposed to be doing while you're resting, to get actual rest. Hello, everyone. We're going to go over some frequently asked questions for the Sleep Multiplier product. So let's hop to it. The first question is, how much should I take? Excellent question. I highly suggest that you take one serving, 90 minutes before bed. That should be all you need. Can you take an extra serving? Yes. Should you need an extra serving? Absolutely not. You can take this every day, no problem, 90 minutes before bed. When should I take it? Daily versus weekly. As I alluded to in the first question, you can take this product every day. No problem. 3, how should I take this product? With food or liquid? And you can take it with food or without food, no problem. Liquid, that's actually an interesting question, and I would say that you take this product with as much liquid as you need to swallow the capsules. Because if you drink too much liquid, then there's actually the risk that you have to wake up in the middle of the night to pee. So for functionality's sake, you should only need a few gulps of fluid to swallow the pills. So this is as much liquid as you need. 4th question, cycle it, stopping it, starting it. This product is perfectly safe, it is not habit forming, and you can take it every day, 90 minutes before bed, to help you go to sleep and stay asleep, and it's totally natural. There's no need to start or stop, or there's no need to stop it once you start it. What happens if you skip? That's perfectly fine. I do not suggest that you double up on your dose the next day. This is not a cumulative product in that way. If you do double up, it will not hurt you. It will work more. But if you end up skipping a dose, no problem. Just hop right back on the wagon.
Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about Test Storm. And so what we'll break down is why we made it, what the gap was in the marketplace, what objective this is trying to accomplish for this product. One was that it would increase the amount of testosterone that you would naturally be producing in your body. So that's the testosterone multiplication aspect of it. The second piece is the testosterone amplification. So once you've made more testosterone, how can we get more out of that testosterone? So it has two, like a double punch. It increases the amount that you have and increases how available it is and how much it's actually going to be used. The third is, by extension, whenever you increase testosterone, you always have to make sure that you keep an eye on estrogen, because they are they are hormones that go up and down together. And so what we want to do is make sure that we could amplify and multiply testosterone while also regulating and maintaining levels of estrogen that are where they need to be without creating any downside, basically. And then the fourth is we wanted to increase blood flow. And you can take that for whatever you want. But we wanted a product that increased the amount of drive someone's going to have both in the gym and outside. Yeah. and promote the blood flows to support any of those drives, whether that's in the gym or outside.
Yeah. Awesome. So this was a particularly fun product for me because all the ingredients that are in this product, I was taking them individually because there wasn't a product out there that had all these ingredients in them. So this was a sincere pleasure for me because I was able to take the personal experience that I had with these ingredients that I was taking in combination already and make it into something viable for you guys from this guy. So discussing the testosterone multiplication, there's this awesome ingredient called Lipidium M, and I'm saying M because I actually don't know how to pronounce the second word in this, in this ingredient. It is really good with increasing levels of testosterone and helping with blood flow. Secondarily, there are Icarins in this product, which are insanely expensive, and they're insanely expensive because they work. And they are really good, again, with testosterone multiplication, libido, things of that nature.
And just so you know, you probably won't ever find a product that has the Icarins and the percentage that we have and the dosing that we have anywhere. I mean, when I showed this to the manufacturer, he was like, this product isn't possible. And I said, just make it and we'll figure out how to make it viable.
He said it wasn't possible because nobody's ever made something so expensive. That's why. It was possible. Yeah. It was possible, just outside of his realm of comfortability, which is pretty cool. And then fenugreek powder, awesome for male metabolism, and D-aspartic acid, which has been shown to increase the levels of flowing testosterone in the body, which is really just great. And then the Prestige Labs Testosterone Amplification Blend, this is where there's some cool stuff going on. Stinging nettle, it does not increase the amount of testosterone you have. However, the testosterone that you do have now becomes free. So if you have high amounts of testosterone, but it's all bound up to proteins like albumin or sex hormone binding globulin, proteins of that nature, this will kick testosterone off of those molecules so that the testosterone you have can actually work. And that is a heavy hitter in this product. And the DIAM is an estrogen regulator, and cocoa extract, again, awesome blood flow product. Absolutely.
So that's what this product was designed to do and succeeded in doing, and we went back and forth. And you'll notice that the serving size on these will be bigger than anything that you've probably ever taken before, and that's because we had a lot to fit into it. And we wanted to make sure that people would actually consume it. That's why they're tablets instead of caps, because we can actually fit more product per unit in that. And so we just ask that you chug it, take it down, and then wait and see. And I think you'll like it as much as we enjoyed making it. It's just probably more.
That's just what it took. That's what it took. Yeah. Completely. Everyone, welcome to the Test Storm Frequently Asked Question video. Question number 1, how much should I take? Really? Following the manufacturer's instructions of taking 1 serving per day is completely adequate. However, I would like to really explain that if you have competitions coming up or anything else particularly gnarly that you are fatigued because of things like training, you can double up on the dose for up to 2 weeks at a time, and you should have no negative effects from that. Next, when, or daily versus weekly or hourly, whatever, just take all of your capsules or all of your tablets at once with food. And that leads into the next question. How, with food or liquid? You will definitely need liquid to swallow these. They are gnarly. They contain a ton of good stuff. Make sure to get them down. And I do suggest you take it with food because it will help the absorption of the ingredients in the product. 4, cycling, stopping, or starting. With this type of product, it's typical to see that in testosterone boosting products that you do need to take time off. In this product, you do not. You can in fact go into a sort of blasting and cruising style dosage regimen where you take a serving per day, and then during times of intense training or competition, you just double your dose during those time periods. So you consume normal amounts and then increase from your normal amounts for short time periods, and then go back to your cruise levels again. And then lastly, what happens if you skip a dose? You can definitely double up doses so long as you don't mind swallowing a few more tablets. No problem.
What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the EFA product. This is a product that was really, really hard to actually make into a physical product because of the nature of a lot of the ingredients that we put into it. So it's kind of a chemical experiment, so to say, going back and forth with the manufacturer, making sure that the actual equipment could produce it. One of the other names we almost called this was Plateau Buster because of some of the effects it has on hormone regulation and whatnot, but we ended up going with EFA because we thought it was simpler for people to understand and recognize. So the reason that we made this was because there's three kind of outcomes that we're looking for the product. First is that we wanted to be able to regulate glucose, blood sugar in people, and what that allows us to do, well, Dr. Getch will explain a little bit more about why that's a good thing. The second thing is controlling insulin. A lot of people know insulin is the storage hormone. And so being able to harness that for the good things that it does in terms of storing things so that you can actually become more anabolic and create good lean tissue like muscle mass, things like that are good uses for insulin. Whereas storing fat and storing sugar and things like that is what you would not want insulin to be doing. And so being able to control it and use it for good and bad is what this product also does. And then as a tertiary or third thing, it's a decrease in inflammation. And so putting all those into one basket was a Herculean task, but Dr. Getch was able to do it. So please break down how why glucose regulation, insulin control, and decreased inflammation matters or should matter to someone, and then how the science works out.
+1 for tertiary.
Thanks.
Yes, that's one of my favorite words. You know me well enough, you know the tertiary is one of my favorite words. This is an interesting product. The glucose regulation and insulin control is super important. Not really for fat loss and body composition purposes, which is really easy to market, quite frankly, but it's just damn good for you. It's just damn good for you. It'll keep you alive longer. I'm proud of that. And ALA is one of those ingredients that has been implicated in helping control insulin and blood sugar, and the body composition effects are positive. The mood and behavior benefits are positive because regulated glucose, especially in the brain, really does help regulate behavior and hunger.
Have you ever heard of the term being hangry?
Hangry.
Right. And so if you were hangry, then you're not really nice to be around, and then your spouse says they don't want to see you diet anymore, and then you stop dieting because you want to make your spouse happy, but then when your spouse is happy, then you're sad because so it's this, hopefully we can stop that with this type of
the hunger dementia.
Right.
Like if you get so hungry you can't do simple math, then this helps regulate a lot of that stuff. And that is definitely a 1-2 punch. And the omega-3s in this product also help regulate that primarily and secondarily. The second heavy-hitting aspect of this product is the sources of the fatty acid called gamma-linolenic acid. And it is extremely good at helping in body composition and fat loss because it helps prevent the production of so-called bad eicosanoids, which are molecules that signal for things like inflammation. And inflammation, when they are high enough in the systemic levels, they do activate your immune system in ways that you don't want and does influence behavior in terms of hunger and general quality of life. So that's something that I really did want to harness because it is one of the single most underutilized mechanisms of action that any product has is the anti-inflammation associated with the fat GLA. So that's something that I really wanted to try and emphasize. And lastly, something that is also really heavily underutilized is the fact that fat-soluble vitamins, they need fat. And so this is effectively a fat product. So we were able to formulate and get fat-soluble vitamins in it so that when you do take this product, the vitamins that you get are actually absorbed at higher levels.
Right. And most people so there's two kind of camps. One is that, so if you're in a deficit, which most people who are dieting most people are not really skinny trying to get jacked. The majority of people watching this are trying to lose fat. And so most people are in a deficit, most times are having a very fat controlled diet. And so if they are taking vitamins, a lot of time it's not paired with fat so that they can actually even be absorbed. And then the other camp is people who just aren't even taking vitamins. So either of those camps would be deficient. And so this allows anyone, even if you're in a super restricted diet, to be able to have all the vitamins that you need. And the downstream effects of vitamins are so ubiquitous. It's vitamins. But the thing is most people don't actually absorb them, which is why they feel crappy all the time. And a lot of the downstream metabolic effects of having the vitamins, because they have actually been absorbed because there was fat with them, allows like a really big impact. So really excited about the product, but from an outcome standpoint, this is just one of those ones where like, this is something everyone should take because most people just don't have this stuff, and the downstream effects are kind of unquestioned.
Yeah. I will say honestly that this is a product I feel when I don't take it. Is probably the best way to describe. I feel worse when I don't take it.
Right. And you don't know how good you could feel until you felt that way, and then you want that to be the new normal. So I think you will enjoy it, and it's just good to just take this with your morning stuff. We'll get into FAQs in the next one.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about EFA. Okay? 1, how much should I take? 1 serving a day, every day. Again, when? Take this with your multivitamin. Chances are you take your multivitamin in the morning, just take it with that. This does contain fat-soluble vitamins, so combining all your vitamins together, not a bad idea. Makes it super simple. How should you take it? Should you take it with food or liquid? This does contain calories because there are fats, like, a couple of calories. So the ingredients that need food to be absorbed are absorbed in the oil already. So that's good, okay? Liquid, just as much liquid as you need to swallow your capsules. Do you have to cycle this? Absolutely not. Take it every day. This stuff is damn good for you. So don't ever stop taking things that are good for you, okay? Lastly, what happens if you skip? You can absolutely double up. No issues there. Pretty straightforward.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Detox product. Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Last Minute Cleanse. And this product was one that we went back and forth on in terms of the duration and the intensity of the actual product itself. Yeah. And so what we finally... Dr. Kashi candidly told me, he's like, I'm afraid of this product because it's extremely powerful. There's a warning label on the side of this one that talks about how powerful it is. It is not a marketing ploy. It is extremely powerful. There are 3 things that it sets out to do. It set out to cleanse your liver, your colon, and your kidneys. And if you were to translate that into normal terms, if you're detoxing or you're cleansing your liver, that's going to be getting out all of the toxins that get stored in your body, etc. If you're cleaning out your colon, then that's going to be your poop, for lack of a better term. And then if you're cleaning out your kidneys, that's going to be all the urine and water. And so what this is intended to do, as Dr. Kashi would say, is turn you into a raisin. And if you have an event that's coming up, this is something that you will feel lighter and just literally just like sucked in is the easiest way to say it. It's not meant to be used on a regular basis, even though we sure would make more if we told you to buy it every single week. It's just not meant to do that. So typically the best times that this is used is in the first week when someone's changing their diet, because when you skyrocket protein without a concurrent increase in fiber, you're going to get a little clogged. And so this helps some people ease through that. You can take maybe a few of them or a lot of them. We'll get more into that in the dosing and the taking video. And then at the end, obviously, when you have an event or you have some final or finish, taking this the week before will help you shed any of that excess fluff weight is the easiest way to say it. So do you want to break down how we detox how we cleanse the liver, how we cleanse the colon, and then how we cleanse the kidneys?
Yes. So one of the most awesome heavy-hitting ingredients in this product is called TUDCA, and I'm just going to call it that because the name is way too long and obnoxious to say out loud. But basically, this is probably the single greatest product I've found that is legal to take without a prescription that takes stress off the liver. And it was a moral imperative for me to include a product or an ingredient like that in this product to actually be able to say this is helping with detoxification processes, because that is what the liver does. And if you can ease that burden on the liver, then in my heart, I can say that this is helping with that. The rest is, if you're feeling bloated and stuffed up, this is really going to help with that effectively. And there are other products out there with similar ingredients, but what I have found is that with like Eastern medicine and herbs and things of that nature, the ingredients are not regulated in how potent and strong they are, which is why so many things vary in terms of really quality and cost. But these things are really heavily tested. It is what it says it is, and it will help you clear out your colon, and it will help you feel less bloated on the inside and underneath your skin. It'll help you get rid of all the extra stuff that you are holding on to, so that 1, you can feel better and lighter when you start a dieting process, and 2, basically help you get ready for any formal event you need to get ready for.
Yeah. Or if that's a competition or a show or whatever it is.
Photos.
Yeah, photos. All those things will be helped with something like this. But again, it's very intense. You can start on the dosing. We'll get into how to take it the right way. But Dr. Keshe put together a lineup stack of things like, I don't know if you want to go over the individual.
Yeah, so the Colon Cleanse proprietary blend contains aloe vera, which is well known to help lubricate and move stuff around your intestines. Senna leaf and cascara are extremely effective herbs that are used in a lot of like East Asian products, but the reality is that it is really difficult to find high quality versions of these herbs because you can put parts of the plant in there without the active ingredient, and so it was a big deal for us to find manufacturers and suppliers that have the plant that still has the active ingredient left.
That's why it's so easy to cut corners with supplements if you actually don't care.
Yeah, because the label can say the same thing and the effect is different because we're not listing chemicals on here, we're listing plants.
Right.
And the Kidney Detox proprietary blend is, similar in that fashion. Chlorella, dandelion, licorice, all these products do help you remove excess fluid from your body in the form of urine. It doesn't come out of sweat or anything crazy like that, but it helps circumvent the hormone aldosterone, which does cause fluid retention, and that can make people uncomfortable and really just hot and gross. And I'm just trying to help alleviate some of those symptoms associated with changing in lifestyle and really being nervous and stopped up.
And especially near an event. So we just want to make sure that all of the changes that have occurred physiologically through a new diet or exercise regime can actually be seen, and none of any things that would blur that, I was going to say obfuscate, but blur it will prevent you from seeing all the results that you have actually achieved this whole time. Enjoy and use carefully.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about one of the most powerful products ever. Last Minute Cleanse, okay? How much should you take? That's actually a really awesome question. So the product is dosed at 1 serving per day, which is 2 capsules. If you have never taken this product before, I highly suggest that you spend a couple of days taking a single capsule to make sure that maybe that is all you need, okay? And that is doubly true if you're taking this for the first time before any event. If you're taking it like I suggest, like at the start of any new diet where people tend to get a little more stuffed up, then this is a perfect opportunity to get that out of the way so that the next time you take this product, you know exactly what your dosage scheme is, okay? So when should you take this? You just take this in the morning. You want all the effects of this product to happen during the day if you can stand it. You don't want to have to wake up in the middle of the night if you don't have to. So get all your pees and poops out during the day. Highly recommended, okay? How? With food or liquid? So just take it how you would your other capsules. Just take it with liquid, as much as you need. Cycling this product. Yes, the cycling options are built into this. There is only a week's worth given to you at any given time for a very specific purpose. So again, you might stretch this out between 10 and 11 days if you've never taken it before because you're spending a few days taking 1 capsule to assess your tolerance. But after that, you're probably only going to do this once, maybe every month. But probably at closer to every 2 months, you're going to end up cycling this product and using it for about a week, okay? What happens if you skip? Do not double your dose. That is not good. Just deal. Plan ahead. Make sure you take it properly. That's all I got.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This video is talking about the scientific background or what went into the formulation of the men's multivitamin, or aka Bulletproof Vitality product. The reason that it was made, it was to fill in the nutritional gaps that most men typically have within their diets, and to really act as a pairing with the Testorm product, because there's a lot, when you increase testosterone a lot, there are also downstream effects that we wanted to counteract, and so this product kind of works hand in hand with that product. And so there's 2 sort of like life extending type things that Dr. Keshe will talk about. And then the third is directly in response to the Testorm product, which is all around managing your prostate. So we will get into it.
Yeah. So one thing that I do want to bring up in terms of men and nutritional deficiencies is that men almost never have any.
Yeah.
So men eat a lot and they eat a lot all the time. So to be completely honest, there weren't a whole lot of gaps to fill in terms of actual nutrients, which is why the name Bulletproof Vitality is so apropos, because this is about quality of life, not because you're not eating enough of the right types of foods. And so there are two specific blends in here that were made specifically for quality of life purposes. And one is really just the longevity blend, Live Forever. And there's two ingredients that are legitimate dosages, the curcumin and the ubiquinone, that really help with what is called mitochondrial health for long-term oxidative damage, or lack thereof in this case, and curcumin, which has amazing what are called pleiotropic anti-inflammatory effects. And pleiotropic is a fancy word for it. It just does a ton of crap that's good for you. It's really what it comes down to. And so for quality of life purposes, no, technically speaking, it's not a nutrient, but it does so much good stuff. That is why it's essential for vitality. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. There's good stuff like the bromelain for inflammation and boron for helping with testosterone production. So these things are essential for quality of life purposes. Then the next proprietary blend is really quite essentially for prostate health. Saw palmetto, cernilton, pygium, lycopene, really these things are meant for prostate health and helping with possible effects of BPH, because if you make some testosterone, that testosterone is going to get converted to other stuff, namely things like possibly DHT. And that can cause your prostate to swell up a little bit, and we're just preventing that.
So the symptom that we're trying to help prevent is if you've ever had like difficulty peeing or something like that, sometimes that can be caused by an enlarged or inflamed prostate, which can be caused by excess in testosterone, which got converted to DHT. And so we're just trying to jump there before anything even happens anyways, and that's why these go hand in hand. So consider this the less sexy friend of Testorm, but still necessary. So yes. Take it, enjoy, live longer, and have a higher quality.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about Bulletproof Vitality. Although the products are different, the dosing regimens and directions are the same, so we're combining it. How much should you take? Just take one serving in the morning with all your other stuff, okay? You take a serving. When? You take it in the morning. How? Take it with fluid. If you do get an upset tummy or it's a little sensitive, you can have it with breakfast. No problem. Should you ever stop taking this? Absolutely not. This is like the healthiest stuff ever. No need to ever stop taking it. What happens if you skip? Just hop back on. You can double the dose and it won't hurt you, but that's not a requirement at all. So I want to pay special attention to this, the cycling, the starting and stopping, is that this should not be cycled, and that the non-vitamin ingredients in this product do have cumulative benefits. So the longer you take them, the better they work, the stronger the chemical signaling will be to get the health benefits.
What's going on, everyone? We're talking about Bulletproof Vitality for women. So this is the female multi-vitamin product. It's not even really just a multivitamin. It's just kind of like, that's why we call it Bulletproof Vitality, because the intention of the product was to fill the nutritional gaps that most women suffer from. It is not something that is going to make you into a woman if you take it or anything like that. It's a different program. Yeah, right. It's a different program that's beyond the scope of a multivitamin. Yes. But it is intended to be the filler of nutritional gaps. And the reason that that's important is because if you're missing things, a lot of times you can have a lot of downstream effects that should be happening from, let's say, other supplements or even food that aren't happening because the keys or the key ingredients to having that entire metabolic process happen are just not there. And so the goal for us was, let's look at what things a typical woman eats and let's not include those, and then only include the things that she would typically not be eating or that she is more in need of. And so the three things that we kind of ironed into or nailed down were a lean muscle agent, HMB, which Trevor will talk a lot more about why that's important. Like that alone costs more than most. Like in and of itself, the dose that we have in here is more.
It is a standalone product.
It is a standalone product. We just include everything because we want everything to be best. The second is good sources of iron for women that are bioavailable. And then the third is a lot of women will be more sensitive to digestive issues or bloating. And so we wanted to have, because all of the Prestige Labs products are meant to be taken together. And so we wanted to account for this issue for women because it's something that's really common. And so those are the three things: lean muscle, iron, anti-bloat, with the obvious inclusion of all the multivitamins that would naturally come into anything that are going to be the highest quality. But those ones specifically are what make this one different.
Yes. So the one of the cooler things about this product is that it is quite literally multiple products. And the HMB is a star player here. It stands for hydroxymethylbutyrate, and it is a metabolic byproduct of the branched-chain amino acid leucine, which is also included in the intra product that we have. But for women in particular, they just don't eat as much meat, typically. And because of that, it is quite possible they're not making as much HMB as they could be to try and preserve lean muscle mass they have, especially in terms of when they diet down. And I won't lie, women train more intensely than men most times. And they run themselves into the ground and then eat less protein to boot. And so this is something that really makes a sexier end product at the end of a diet. So you don't just become a smaller version of the shape you didn't like before. It's really what it comes down to. Secondarily, there is a female-specific proprietary blend in here, and that does contain proteases, which are enzymes that help you break down protein. So there is an encouragement to eat more protein as a female because it is very difficult for them. And this does help you digest it quicker, so there is less bloating, and you absorb those amino acids in a more efficient manner. Secondarily, I actually put ground up liver in this. And that's something that I do suggest most all women take that I work with. And it is probably one of the better multivitamins out there on its own, desiccated ground up liver. And it is a very bioavailable source of iron. So is a key ingredient for me in this product, as strange as it may seem. It is super effective. And lastly, there's lactobacillus, which is a probiotic. And it also helps you digest small fats and other carbohydrates that may cause bloating and stomach upset in the long term to help keep bloating down, help keep digestive comfort up.
Which we knew that when we were having a lot of people who are changing or starting a new healthy lifestyle, bloating is just common. And so the likelihood that we can help someone stay on that path is if we can make that path more comfortable for them and then get them to see results faster, that's where this kind of fits in. So if we can help you maintain more lean body mass with the HMB, fill in the gaps with the iron that you're probably not getting because most of them don't eat as much protein as they probably should. Yeah. And then we wanted to encourage the protein eating with the lacto, etc., and all of the anti-bloat enzymes that are in there, because probably a lot of times women stop eating protein because they start getting bloated and then they stop eating it. And so if we could conquer each one of those aspects in addition to having the multivitamin component, we could pretty much fill in all the nutritional gaps that a woman might have while she's dieting, and then ultimately make the entire process a lot more enjoyable.
Sexier end product.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about Bulletproof Vitality. Although the products are different, the dosing regimens and directions are the same, so we're combining it. How much should you take? Just take 1 serving in the morning with all your other stuff, okay? You take a serving. When? You take it in the morning. How? Take it with fluid. If you do get an upset tummy or it's a little sensitive, you can have it with breakfast. No problem. Should you ever stop taking this? Absolutely not. This is like the healthiest stuff ever. No need to ever stop taking it. What happens if you skip? Just hop back on. You can double the dose and it won't hurt you, but that's not a requirement at all. So I want to pay special attention to this, the cycling, the starting and stopping, is that this should not be cycled, and that the non-vitamin ingredients in this product do have cumulative